I'm going through all of my singles. I have a couple duos and some quads and stuff in here, but I'm going to start with my singles. So down here at the bottom, I have two of these Wet n Wild Brulee shadows. I already have one of these in my makeup bag that I'm trying to use up at the moment, so I'm going to pass on one of these. I do like using this just to set my eye base, so I'll keep one of them, but I'm going to get rid of one of these as well. There is a purple one. I think that's in Kitten. There's a green one here in Envy. I might come back to one of these two. I haven't decided entirely, but I know for sure Nutty, I'm going to let this one go because I have Satin Taupe from MAC, and I would much rather use that one. They're pretty similar, so I'm going to let Nutty go. These right here, I can't really do anything with these. These are the Dazzle shadows from MAC, so I'll just set these down along there. I have the new Kat Von D eyeshadow and blush product. I do have two eyeshadows right here. I'm working on depotting these. This multicolored one is from Jessie's Girl. I really enjoy the white, the maroon, and kind of the pewter taupe shade that's mixed in there. So that one's set aside to be depotted, as well as this one. This is Brulee from MAC. So I'll probably depot that guy and put it into my main palette. I'm going to move on to the Makeup Forever shadows here. They have since discontinued these, but I love these things. So I'm going to keep all three of these. I usually pull these out during the fall time. This is the only one that I'm kind of iffy about, that orange one, but for now I'm going to keep it. This is one of my favorite single shadows, and I go out of my way to reach for this one. This is the Long Lasting Wet and Dry eyeshadow in number 200 from Kiko, and it is absolutely gorgeous, so definitely keeping that one. This one from Hard Candy was given to me from Mary, and I really enjoy this shade right over here, but I think I have so many of these champagne colors that I think I might be passing this one on to my niece. She just asked me if I had any makeup that I'm decluttering anytime soon to send it her way. This one up along the back is from Milani. I actually had this set aside in my train case, and I don't know what I was doing with it. I really like these from Milani. I think they've also discontinued these, but I'm gonna pass this one on to her as well. Then I have my ColourPop shadows here, and I've already decluttered one of them. This is the one that I decluttered. This is Heat, and it's beautiful, but if you guys didn't know, ColourPop shadows actually start going downhill and expiring after 12 months. So I'm on the verge of just tossing these out or actually using them. This is the only one that feels super creamy and like it did from the start, probably because I haven't opened this one very much. So I'm gonna pass this one on to her. I have a couple here that are a little questionable just because I use these more frequently. So this one right here, I know for sure I'm gonna get rid of. I actually tried to put some of my Inglot Duraline in this and it just wouldn't revive it. So this one is definitely gonna go. This is the Super Shock Shadow in Rumor Has It Swan. This one was more of just like a glitter topper from the get-go, but you can see I tried to revive it and it just turned into a hot, flaky mess. So this one is gonna be thrown in the garbage. I really like I Heart this, so I'm gonna keep that one. I hit the pan on that one already. This is Fringe. I might try and work with this one a little bit this year, but I'll keep it for now. This one, So Quiche. This one's a bit dark, but I like how it has that duochrome shift to it. It goes from like a green pewter shade to a purple. I'll keep this one for now. The next time I declutter, if I haven't reached for these, I'm probably just gonna trash them because they only have that 12-month shelf life. And then this one is Cricket. This one is super pretty. This one almost has like a shifting duochrome situation with it as well. So I'll hang on to those. Up here, I really enjoyed this one. This was sent out in Ipsy bags. This is from Pacifica. And this one, you can use it either as an eyeshadow or a highlight. This is in the shade Ethereal. This almost has a duochrome situation to it as well. But every time I use this, I get hard pan. So I think I'll pass this one on. As much as I love this, I know a lot of people really didn't enjoy this one, but I actually really liked the shade of it. Up here, I have my Bobbi Brown eyeshadow in Camel. I just barely picked this one up. I just barely purchased it, but you can see it has like that yellow undertone to it. It's really beautiful. All right, we'll move over to this. This is from Japanesque. As you can see, right there. I really enjoy this. I love the packaging. I love everything about this. This is super weighty. This is the Velvet Touch eyeshadow in number 3. But this one, it's more of like a darker gold sort of tone. Yeah, I prefer my champagne shades to be a little bit lighter than this. So unfortunately, as much as I like this, I'll probably hand this off to my niece. I'm sure she would love that. It's a really nice high quality shadow and I love the packaging, but I just gotta part with things that I'm not gonna be using. Okay, so here we are. So this, I love this one. I've hung on to this for a very long time. I picked this up from Ulta when Cargo was sold at Ulta. I don't think they're sold there anymore, but this is the eyeshadow in Provence. This is a super beautiful color. This is like a duochrome shade kind of as well. This really reminds me of Stars and Rockets from MAC. So because I have Stars and Rockets, I think I'm going to pass this one on to my niece. So that right there, I swatched Provence out on the back of my hand. It's beautiful, but I have other things that are similar, like this guy right here. So up at the top, I have this single shade from Milani. Like I said, I don't think they sell these anymore. This is in number 5, French Vanilla. I really like how buttery and smooth this is. This one really reminds me of Blanc Type from MAC, just a touch darker, so I will be hanging on to this one. Then I have this little trio right here, and I love this thing. I probably need to focus on this next year and finish it off, but it's absolutely beautiful. This is from Physicians Formula. This is one of their Baked Collection wet and dry eyeshadows in the shade Baked Berries. This shade up here is like a cream color, but it almost has a pink shift to it. This one is very reminiscent of Satin Taupe, and then this one is super gorgeous. It's like a plummy purple. So there are those 3 right there. I think they're beautiful, and like I said, I'm probably going to focus on this one for next year for my Pan That palette, so I'm going to hang on to it. Down here at the bottom, I'm going to keep both of these. They're my Urban Decay singles. This one is super beautiful. I really like this one for the fall time. This is in the shade Backfire. And then for my birthday last year from Ulta, they were handing out single shadows from Urban Decay. This one is in Midnight Cowboy. So I'm going to hang on to that one. Then there are the L'Oreal Infallible shadows. And I have Ice Latte. This is Diamond. What is this one? Liquid Diamond. I also have this really pretty purple one, which is why I got rid of... You know what? Because I have this purple one, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Kitten from Wet n Wild. Kitten kind of reminds me of Tracks from MAC because it has like a gold sheen running through it, but it's not very noticeable. Same with Tracks from MAC. So I'm going to let this one go since I have Tracks and I have this one right here. I don't need 15 purple single shadows. This is one of my favorite single shadows. This is like a green bronze color. This is called Gilded Envy. Beautiful. And then this guy is my all-time favorite green. It has like a yellow tinge to it. This one is Golden Emerald. This is super gorgeous, so definitely hanging on to that one. I have my Milani singles right here. I know it's kind of hard to see. I apologize about that, but I have 2 kind of cream shades. I'll put these up right here. This first one, this white one is called Bella White, and then this is Bella Ivory. So this is Bella White, this is Bella Ivory. Oh man. Because I just don't reach for whites that frequently, I think I'm going to pass on the Milani Bella White, and I'll keep Bella Ivory for right now. Same with this one. This is the Bella Cafe, and don't get me wrong, I really love these Milani eyeshadows, but my only problem is with these more natural shades that are in almost every single palette. I have probably 15 other shadows that look almost identical to this in palettes, so I'm not gonna go out of my way to reach for a single like this that's in all those other palettes. So that is Bella Cafe right there. I think I'll pass this one on to my niece as well. Shades like these right here. This is the Bella Rouge. and I would go out of my way to pull this one out, so I will keep that one, and same with this one. This is the Bella Mandarin. Definitely gonna keep this one. So up here at the top, I did pull out, oh, those are earrings, hang on. So I have this MAC palette here. I just barely picked this up, and this is their Semi-Sweet palette. I think this is gorgeous, so I'm going to set this up on the top. But I did pull this one out. This is the Urban Decay Pulp Fiction. Same thing with this one. I feel like I would definitely use these tones. I feel like there are some cream shades in here, like this one right up at the top, and the white in here, and this brown. I would definitely pan this palette, but I don't want to pan that black and that dark brown. So I would much rather pass this on to somebody that would use the entire palette as a whole, instead of me using up 2 or 3 of the shades and then passing it on. So I'm just going to pass this on to her while it's still in pristine condition. I have my single cream shadows right here. These dry down and they're like a matte. These are the Pure Cosmetics eye polishes. I think these are beautiful. I really love some of these. So this one is satin. This is gorgeous. And they almost have like a trampoline squishy thing in there. I think this one's my favorite. That's more of like a cool pink shade. This is more of like a champagne yellow toned color. This one is in cashmere. This one's pretty beautiful as well. It's got more of that yellow tone to it. But either one of these two I can put down and put anything over the top of them. This one is gorgeous. This one's in caviar, and if you just swipe it out, it just looks plain. But if you use the little silicone applicators that they send out, then you get like this amazingly beautiful greenish gold sparkle just running all over through the eyeshadow. So this one again was in caviar. It does have a black base to it though, so if you're not into dark eyeshadows, probably steer clear of that one. This one's really pretty. This one's in the shade Velvet, and this is more of like that reddish toned purple sort of color, so definitely gonna keep this one. I think these two on the end, I don't wear shades like this on a typical basis. I'm probably gonna pass these on to my daughter. This brown one here is in Suede, and then this rose gold color is in Silk. So definitely gonna pass these two on to my daughter just because they're more of a warm tone, and I typically reach for something a little cooler. Okay, next up are my Burberry singles. I'm probably not gonna get rid of these, even though there's 1 or 2 that I don't reach for on a regular basis anymore. But these are really beautiful. Super smooth, amazing formula on these shadows. This one is Pale Barley. We've got Midnight Brown. This one almost has like a shimmer running through it. Super gorgeous. Then next up I have Almond, which is a little bit dark for me, but it's still a mid-tone, beautiful shade that I could also wear all over the lid. So we'll hang on to these guys. Then there is Antique Rose. This one's super beautiful. I really like this one. I wanted to hit pan on this one this year, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. It does come off a little bit lighter than it looks in the pan. You can see right there. These are so smooth and buttery. I also have, this one is Mulberry. This is like a darker purple. This one is Mulberry. It's more of like a darker plum purple sort of tone. So that's super gorgeous. You can see right there, they're so pigmented. And then my last one here is my favorite. This one is in Rosewood, number 9. I hit pan on this one. I love this shade. This is my all-time favorite shade. It's more of like a taupey plum sort of color. It's beautiful though. If you like cool tone shadows, I definitely recommend Rosewood from Burberry. Okay, then we're gonna move on to some duos, trios, quads, and I have some glittery pigments down here. So I just got this one from Octoly recently. Is the packaging not the most beautiful you've ever seen? I think it's stunning. I don't normally wear like orangey shadows like I mentioned, but this is stunning. This one right here, this one's kind of the dud shadow out of the palette, but this is a really beautiful shimmery gold. There's a shimmery orange right there, and then the brown on the end. So I typically would pull in some more matte tones because all of these are shimmery and have a little bit of glitter to them, but it's a beautiful palette to pair with other ones. So I'm gonna hang on to this one for now. I have this one here. I haven't reached for this one in a very long time. This is the Maybelline Eye Studio in number 10, Mad for Mauve. And I love these shades, but the green doesn't come off as green as it looks right now, and the pink is super shimmery for me. This one does have like a pink duochrome shift to it, which I love, but this purple doesn't come off as maroony purple as it looks right there either. So I think I'm gonna pass this one on. I did enjoy it while I had it, but I just haven't reached for this in over a year, so we're gonna let that guy go. This one, this is my MAC Duo, and once I finish off this shade right here, this is Radial Pink. This one's Shadowy Lady, and this one is a permanent shade, but this one's limited edition. This is not one that you can take these out, so once I finish off Radial Pink, I'll just back to MAC this whole thing. This is like a very pale, cool tone pink color. So anyway, I'm gonna hang on to this until this one's finished, like I said. Then this will be out of here. So that one will stay. I have this Clinique quad right here. This is the All About Shadow quad. It has On Safari, Lemongrass, and then there's a duo in here that's called Buttered Toast. So right here, these two are the Buttered Toast duo that you can purchase separately. That is them swatched out. That green has a ton of yellow in it. That's Lemongrass, and then that one on the end is On Safari, or the Safari shade. So I'm gonna hang on to this for a little bit. It's fun to pull out for a pop of color, and I really like these two shades as well. I just got this one recently out of a gift with purchase bag. This is the Gray Matters and Jeans and Heels eyeshadows, and then it has the blush in here called Iced Lotus. These shadows up at the top really don't excite me. This blush in here has a lot more of a sheen to it than I was expecting. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it just has that sheen. So I think I'm gonna pass this on to her and see if she'll get any more use out of it than I am. I also have this trio here from Clinique, and this has, you can see the shades right here along the back. Let me open it so you can see it. It's pretty self-explanatory. It has like a very pale shade, a very mid-tone transition color, and then a deeper one, but even the darkest shade out of this quad isn't too dark. It's pretty subtle if you don't like really dark eyeshadows. I think I'm gonna pass this one on to my mother. I think she would get a lot of use out of this, so I'm gonna see if she'll enjoy that one. I really like this duo here from Clinique. This has Sparkling Sage and the shadow Daybreak in here. The Sparkling Sage shade is the color that I mixed in with my Urban Decay Naked palette to kind of repress and make a lighter shadow, so I'm gonna keep this around just for this color here. This is beautiful, and it's so creamy and soft and so intense. That is it there. So definitely gonna be hanging on to this until that shadow is finished, but it's a beautiful little duo there. This is my Walking on Eggshells trio, and I was trying to finish this off earlier this year. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about this. This was in a project earlier, and I've gotten a lot of love out of this. You can see I've hit pan on the brown one, this pink one's almost finished, and this white one here has a nice dip going in it. But my problem with this is that I have identical shades in my MAC shadows, and typically I would reach for that over this little trio just because I have a ton of shadows in my MAC palette. So I think I'm gonna declutter this one. Even though I have a ton of progress on it, I think it's time to let it go. I've had this around for like 4 years now, so this one, I'm gonna say goodbye to it. Moving a little bit further down here, this is stunning. This is my glitter pigment from Bodyography. This one's in the shade Sparkler. These are gorgeous, you guys. Now, I don't know if they're worth the 20-something dollars, but it is beautiful. I love every single thing about this. I would consider purchasing one more of these and maybe like a cooler tone shade, but I really enjoy this, and it even has the little thing that the L'Oreal Infallible shadows have, and you keep that in there, press it down, and it keeps it, you know, so it doesn't dry out and become super flaky. I have a little sample here from MAC. This is the Rose pigment. This has a shift to it. It has like a orange and rosy tone. Let's see if I can get a little out. That is it there. If you use these wet, they definitely have way more of an impact, but this is really beautiful. I don't normally reach for these colors, these types of tones, but it's so pretty that I'm going to hang on to it. In the back here, I have a pigment from MAC. This is the tan pigment, just a little mini one. And then I also have this single glitter shadow here. This is one of the e.l.f. roll-on shimmers. This one is in salmon. These are beautiful. This one's super glittery and gorgeous. So they have like a little roller ball at the tip, but when you put them out on the skin, I usually put this one over the e.l.f. glitter pigment. This one you will get fallout from, but I just suggest putting it over like the e.l.f. glitter pigment or the Too Faced shadow, the glitter one from the glitter primer from Too Faced. That one works too. I have some of my MAC metallic crushed glitter pigments. I think I'm going to hang on to this until I use up this color right here. This one is the shade Prettified, and once I finish that one off, then I'll just back to MAC this whole thing. I do have these pressed in my MAC palette at the moment, so I don't normally reach for the loose ones just because they're kind of messy. And then what else do we got here? I have my e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleanser. Sometimes I use this, but normally I'm reaching for that little sponge that you can run your brush over. I have these here. I've heard they're not the best, but I'm saving these for traveling. It's the Makeup Brush Cleansing Cloths from Eco Tools. I have this little mini of my Urban Decay All Nighter makeup setting spray. I also have the L'Oreal Infallible setting spray, and this one's my new favorite. This is the Kate Somerville Uncomplicated SPF. This is fantastic. If you want to get your SPF without putting it down underneath your makeup, or if sunscreen usually makes you break out, I would suggest getting a makeup setting spray that has the SPF in it, because then you can reapply it throughout the day and not have to disturb your makeup. This one, it doesn't make me oily or greasy or anything. It has hyaluronic acid, so it's supposed to be good for dry skin, but anyway, I really love this stuff. This is probably my favorite makeup setting spray. I like this more than I like the Urban Decay All Nighter. So yeah, that was a look at my single shadow drawer here. I wanted to pause for a second because I was talking about the Milani shadows. When we moved last year, I forgot to go through all of my boxes, and I had one box that had my Milani shadows in it. So I'm actually going to declutter these ones that are in here. I already went through them. So this is the Milani Bella Violet. I just have a ton of purples like this, so I'll pass this one on to my niece. There's also the Bella Emerald, and I just prefer a green that has a little bit more yellow to it. My L'Oreal Infallible shadow I like over this one, so I'm gonna pass this one on. This one is swatched right there, by the way. This one is another one of those browns that I have in 10 of my palettes. Right here, this is the Bella Cappuccino. So just because I'm reaching for a palette over this, I'm gonna let this one go. Again with this one, this is Bella Espresso. I just have these tones in palettes. So, and then the final one here, this one's beautiful, but I'm just not gonna pull out this kind of a tone. This is Bella Champagne. And unless it really wows me, I'm not gonna pull it out, so. That is Bella Champagne. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's gorgeous, but I have 15 other shadows that look identical to this. And then I found this little sampler thing. This is from Coastal Scents. This is from the Revealed palette sampler. This was in Latte, so I'll just pass that on and she can get some use out of it. Going back through and looking over my shadows that I'm keeping right here, I think I made a decision. I think this L'Oreal shadow right here, this one is in Burst Into Bloom, but I think I might declutter this one because I have Stars and Rockets from MAC, and I think I would probably use a single shadow that's pressed over this guy right here. And don't get me wrong, it's absolutely stunning, but I think I would just use that one a little bit more than this one, and having to deal with the mess that this one leaves. So I think I will pass this one on to my niece and keep the other 4. I'm super shaky, but this is what I am keeping in my drawer so far. And let me give you a quick overview of what I'm going to be decluttering. Again, I'm sorry that I'm so shaky, but this is what I'm going to be getting rid of out of my eyeshadows. I talked about all of these except for these two over on the end here. My smoked palette from Urban Decay, I got this for $10 from Ulta. These dark tones along the bottom, I'm probably not going to reach for those randomly. The only ones that I would probably pan out of this palette are Kinky and Freestyle, maybe Mushroom, but I don't want to give somebody a palette that has 3 shadows missing out of it. I'd rather pass this along to my niece and get something that has a few lighter tones to it. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought this. I think I just got it because it was $10. So anyway, there's that one. And then I also have the NYX Butt Naked palette. I've had this around for I think 2 years now. I really like this, but there's just so much product in this that I'm never going to get through it. So here's the shades out of this palette. Some of them are really pretty, and some, like this one right here, has a duochrome shift to it, but overall I had these shadows in plenty of other palettes. You can pull out this section on the bottom and it even comes with all these powders, all these blushes. I'm never going to reach for those. I have singles that I've purchased. So anyway, I'm probably going to pass this one on to my niece as well. Overall, I think I did an alright job. Maybe the next time that I declutter, I can move a couple more out. But anyway, that was it for this video. I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.